With the arrival of the highly anticipated Frieren Season 2, we also got a new opening theme, Lulu by Mrs. Green Apple. While its popularity may not rival YOASOBI's Yuusha, and Haru by Yorushika is still my favorite song from the entire show, it has emerged, in my opinion, alongside its animation as the best OP of the series. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the band behind Lulu, talk about the creative process behind the song, and break down the lyrics and animation that made it the best OP of Frieren. After the involvement of YOASOBI and Yorushika, two of the biggest names in J-pop, how does one even begin to duplicate the level of success and quality they provide? Well, what else but to invite the unequivocally most popular record-breaking band in the last few years, Mrs. Green Apple, also known as MGA. They may not be as well known internationally due to their brand of music and their lack of involvement with popular anime until recently, aside from Inferno from Fire Force, which is likely their most famous song among people who aren't into J-pop. Similar to anime or cinematic universe, Mrs. Green Apple also has arcs or phases to their music. The first phase started in 2013, when this insanely popular band was formed by its lead singer and songwriter, Omori Motoki, who is one of the most gifted vocalists and songwriters in Japan, and is behind the song most anime fans will likely have heard of, I'm Invincible by Ado from One Piece Red. MGA actually made their major debut all the way back in 2015, and started gaining traction with their self-titled second album, Mrs. Green Apple, in 2017, which is about when I started listening to them. A year later, they had their major breakthrough with Aoto Natsu, which remains their most popular song to date. One thing worth noting when discussing the connection between Frieren and MGA is that they're the first band to perform for this critically acclaimed anime, and something that solo artists like Mire and duos like YOASOBI and Yorushika are unlikely to ever experience is the change of party members. After nearly 10 years of endeavor, as Phase 1 came to an end, MGA has finally entered the upper echelons of mainstream J-pop. But as they took a break to prepare for the monumental Phase 2, two of the members, Yamanaka and Takano, who had been with the band since before their debut, decided to leave. While it was a tough blow for MGA, they regrouped as a three-man band with supporting members and embarked on their second phase, which saw them achieve unparalleled success and become the household name they are today. And with Phase 2 concluding in 2025, Lulu is the song that marked the beginning of Phase 3. This journey of bittersweetness, with the departure and arrival of different members, became a huge inspiration for Omori when he created Lulu, as it in a sense mirrored Frieren's journey with different party members through different phases of her life. The shared admiration and appreciation for their companions, whether that's in the moment or perhaps noticed too late, was something Omori found deeply relatable to the anime. When Mrs. Green Apple was offered to provide a song for Frieren, the production had only one request of Omori, to write a song based on his impression of Frieren, and he was both relieved and overjoyed by how simple the request was, because before his current status and reputation as one of the best songwriters in the industry, most of the offers he received had clear orders and directions of the kind of song the production was looking for, and he also thinks it's disrespectful to write songs that he can't relate to. So the trust shown by Frieren's producers in allowing him to follow his sensibilities was a real pinch-me moment for him. And that brings us to the lyrics. Lulu's structure is quite fascinating. It is split into two halves, both with nearly identical phonetics and structure, with only small tweaks in the lyrics to showcase the passage of time and the change in emotions. So what I'm going to do is, instead of the usual linear progression, I'll be breaking down and comparing the verses or choruses that mirror each other. If it's not too complicated, let's dive right in. The song begins with the recognition of the approaching end. What should I say when the end comes? If it's gonna happen anyway, might as well be something less depressing. The first part of the intro is a callback to the finale of Frieren Season 1, when Himeru said, "A tearful goodbye wouldn't suit us, because it would be embarrassing when we meet again." It's a beautiful choice to start the OP of Season 2 by seamlessly picking up the story where Season 1 left off. In the second part of the intro, "Atatakaku nokoteru," it remains warm. It's the heart of the entire track. Lulu is a song about warmth and finding strength and motivation through your memories, belonging, and nostalgia. And "Atatakaku nokoteru" appears 3 times throughout the song, and also serves as its final line. In the first verse, I should be content with simply knowing you, but I can't help but look for more. This description of Frieren realizing what the hero's party means to her, and the fundamental urge and curiosity of human or elven nature is followed by a calm and reaffirming line. It's okay, I'm not going anywhere. I can't go anywhere. There's a really interesting nuance with this line. Even though they don't intend on going anywhere, they're also, for whatever reason, forced to stay. And that made me think that this part is actually about the dynamic between Frieren and the memories of her former companions. Now let's take a look at the third verse that parallels the first. I'll experience more inner conflicts from knowing you, but I can't help but rely on you. The more you know a person and the stronger you feel about them, the more complex the emotions you'll be exposed to. But those worries eventually gave way to trust and reliance. However, the more you have to lose. So what was previously a calm affirmative statement became a question about the fear of loss. Although I absolutely love the OP version of the song, and I do think leaving out the second verse is the correct choice, it still has some great lyrics that I wish more people could hear. If I find what I'm looking for, I feel like something will be interrupted. So instead of showing my worries, I'll just hide them in my hummings, pretending everything's peachy and let the days go by. This might be one of the most relatable lyrics of the entire song. We're always in the process of reaching something, whether it be school, work, a relationship, an anime, or even a video game. If you're enjoying the process, then the finish line might seem daunting. Even if you're not, the uncertainty of what the end brings could also be distressing. And as time passed and the stakes became higher, verse 4 shows that pretending to be nonchalant is no longer an option. Instead of something being interrupted, it collapses. Instead of humming, you cope by biting your lips. And instead of days passing like a calendar, time flies by the swaying curtains. And here comes my favorite part of Lulu, and why unfortunately not including the second verse was the right choice. At the end of the first verse, we got a reassuring message that the memories aren't going anywhere. However, cutting to the pre-chorus and accompanied by the opening animation, even though I can't forget, the time flies by so fast that everything feels so distant. Even though Frieren doesn't forget, what used to be vivid eventually fades with time. If there's one thing I would complain about Frieren Season 1, it's that the opening animations weren't particularly memorable. But the animation for Lulu, on the other hand, is genuinely one of the best OPs I've ever seen. The direction and its complement to the music are truly masterful. With only a few frames, we see the people, environment, weather, and seasons changing through Frieren's point of view. It's uplifting and adventurous. But once they defeated the Demon Lord, the journey home and her companions aging and passing happened so fast that suddenly, she was alone. But Lulu is a song where the memories were meant to inspire positivity. So just when Frieren seems melancholy and lonely, the chorus hits. If kind winds blow through the world, will anything change? The kind winds are the influence the hero's party passed on to the world through all the major and minor deeds they accomplished. So when it seemed like Frieren was left all alone, it was Frieren and Shitaruku, the legacy and gift from Haita and Aizen, who brought flowers and sunshine to her world once again. As for Himeru, you can see the traces he left behind across different corners of the world, but his spirit, more than anything, lives on through Frieren. So in the bridge, the lyrics go from "If kind winds blow through the world, will anything change?" to "If I could be kind, will anything change?", showcasing his influence on her and her growth as a character. There's a place I want to go back to. It's the only line in the song to use quotation marks, underscoring Omori's emphasis on home and belonging, where people find shelter, comfort, motivation, and strength. The scale of the song also expanded exponentially, from a story about Frieren and memories to the world, and now the entire planet. Everyone's a descendant of this planet. Is it a bit cheesy? Maybe, but that's also what's beautiful about Mrs. Green Apple's music. We see a party of humans, elves, and dwarves that save the world. Countless lives and memories from different beings flow through a single planet they all call home. If there's one thing we can take away from watching Frieren and listening to Lulu, it is that this idea shouldn't be any different from our own planet. The song ends with "Atatakaku no okotteru," bringing the scale back down to an intimate, tiny piece of memory that brings warmth to Frieren. From the openings we've seen so far, Yuusha by YOASOBI is about storytelling and literally turning a chapter of Frieren into a song, and Haru by Yorushika explores the theme of grief. They're both very good songs, but in terms of how they fit as Frieren's OPs, they both lack a bit of each other's characteristics. Yuusha lacks theme and sentiment, while Haru lacks a clearer connection to the anime, whereas the first ending theme, Anytime Anywhere by Mide, beautifully combined the best of both worlds. And so did Lulu. Its lyrics and storytelling paint a clear picture in my mind, while its themes and emotions, accompanied by the gorgeous animation, always leave me with a warm, fuzzy feeling. And that's why Lulu, in my opinion, is the best OP of Frieren. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. You can find more anime or J-pop videos on my YouTube channel, or on my Patreon, where I upload videos that were affected by copyrights. This has been Cushion. See you next time.